They told you witches were dangerous, evil, something to be feared and destroyed. But what if that wasn't the truth at all? What if the story of the witch was rewritten on purpose? For centuries, the image of the witch has been carefully crafted. A woman alone in the woods, too knowledgeable, too independent, too powerful. And that was exactly the problem. Because historically, many of the people accused of witchcraft weren't casting spells. They were healers, midwives, herbalists, women who understood the body, the land, and natural remedies long before modern medicine. They held knowledge that couldn't be easily controlled. And in times of fear, uncertainty, and shifting power, that kind of independence became dangerous. Not because it was evil, but because it challenged authority. During events like the Salem witch trials, accusations spread quickly. Fear turned into hysteria. Neighbors turned on neighbors, and suspicion alone could cost someone their life. One of the most chilling parts of these trials was how little evidence it took to be accused. In many cases, it wasn't proof, it was suspicion, a glance, a disagreement, a woman who didn't quite fit in. Some were accused for owning land, some for speaking too directly, others simply for being different. And once a name was spoken, it spread. Because fear doesn't need facts to grow. It only needs people willing to believe it. But Salem wasn't unique. Across Europe and early America, tens of thousands of people, mostly women, were accused, tried, and executed. Not for what they did, but for what they represented. A woman who didn't conform. A woman who spoke too boldly. A woman who lived outside the lines she was given. Sound familiar? Because the label witch wasn't just about magic. It became a way to silence, discredit, and control. And over time, the story stuck. So much so that we inherited it without questioning it. Without realizing that what we were taught to fear might have once been something powerful, something wise, something deeply connected to nature, intuition, and self-trust. What makes this even more unsettling is how familiar it feels, because the fear of powerful, independent women didn't disappear, it evolved. It shows up in quieter ways now, in labels, assumptions, and expectations, in who is taken seriously and who is dismissed, in who is praised for strength and who is punished for it. The language changed, but the pattern didn't. So the next time you hear the word witch, ask yourself, who benefits from that story? And what truths might still be buried underneath it?